That's yours as well, Mr. Tony Castleman!
Thank you so much. Give it up for my best friend, Greg. Hell yeah. Just informed him of our best friendship, and it's going great. Guys, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming out. I really like it here. You guys are cool. You ever have an edible with breakfast? I'm sorry, I messed that up. You ever have an edible for breakfast and changes everything? That may have happened to me 12 hours ago. Making major life decisions while wasted at 8 a.m. Anybody else doing that? We'll see how the rest of this goes. Yeah, I'm excited to be here, but you guys, the last relationship I was in, there was cheating, first by her, but then by her again. And after that second time, I was like, you know what? I have my pride, okay? So I'm sorry, but I'll date you for 2 more years. And then we got to reevaluate this relationship. When it comes to dating, a lot of guys are wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm more, would you like to listen to Wham in my van, ma'am? It's a little different. Wham is a band from the 80s. I'm not sure everybody knows that. A couple people. Also, I don't own a van. I'm leasing. With an option to be a creep. 2 more payments. Let's tint those windows. Okay. A little creepy, still on board. My first concert was Bon Jovi. So far I've referenced Wham and Bon Jovi. Real man's man on stage. A lot of alpha energy from this guy. First concert was Bon Jovi. I was 12 years old. My mom took me. It was also the first time I ever smelled weed. I kept asking Mom to put the joint out. She was like, shut up, nerd. I drive better when I'm high. All right. My bad, Melinda. You're awfully aggressive for a person who's actively smoking a joint. This is confusing for me. I grew weed last summer. Thank you. It was brave. I grew weed on my patio. I used a special brand of fertilizer called White Privilege. Has anybody heard of that brand? It worked. Those plants grew tall and strong and oblivious to the plight of other plants. Just didn't give a shit. I sold some of that weed to my friend's wife. Then the next time I saw my friend, he told me he was leaving her. So naturally I asked him, did my weed break up your marriage? He said, no, but it didn't help. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. You know what would help you right now? I have weed for sale. I don't know if you're interested. He wasn't. He was not interested at that time. Guy who made my sandwich today hit me with, how has your day been? Not how you doing, not how are you, how has your day been? It's more specific. So even though I didn't want to, I felt compelled to engage in the conversation. So I said, fine, I work from home, I just got off work. And he said, so this is the first time you've been out of the house all day, huh? I wanted a sandwich. I didn't come here to have my loneliness put on display. I'm pretty sure that isn't Mike's way, sir. And then the woman who rang up my order at Jersey Mike's described my sandwich as heavy. She was like, that's a heavy sandwich. I said, I'm an overachiever. Mind your business. Then she handed me the sandwich. Heaviest goddamn sandwich I ever held in my life. Couldn't believe it was all mine. Sometimes for work, I have to track down people's obituaries. And as you can probably imagine, some of them are very weird. I read this paragraph in one the other day, and I quote, Although her later years were marked by isolation, Lois enjoyed reading her Bible, frequenting local discount stores, and surprisingly watching the Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid. Naked and Afraid made it into an obit. I don't even know where to begin with that, but I will tell you that the next time you're watching Naked and Afraid, or if you find yourself naked and afraid, take a moment to remember a lonely, cheap woman named Lois, because her family clearly didn't give a shit if they wrote that obituary. It's the saddest thing I've ever read. I had an uncle who liked his meat cooked rare. When he died, he wanted to be cremated. Irony. Considering how he liked his steaks cooked, I suggested we just brown him a little bit on both sides. But we honored the family's wish and ordered him well done. Cooked him all the way through. Delicious. All right. 10 more jokes about death and I'm out of here. Have you ever seen a new cemetery? I saw one recently, just 6 headstones and a lot of potential. This was in my hometown, so I stopped to see if I could recognize any of the names in this skeleton patch. A couple minutes later, a lady came by to put flowers on one of the graves. I turned to her and said, "Won't it look nice when they fill this place up?" I'm gonna let that one sit for a couple seconds. Let y'all decide if I'm a psychopath or not. A lot of you made up your minds already. That's fine. 8 more jokes about death. Okay. I heard a radio ad touting the nutritional benefits of pork skins. What's that? What's that? You're a loud dietitian. That's what you are. I do need some health tips after my set. Not a minute before I'm done, ma'am. Thank you very much. This is my time. Yeah, I heard a radio ad touting the nutritional benefits of pork skins, and I thought maybe it is time to end the human experiment, everybody. I think we're done. I eat pork skins, but I've never opened a bag and thought these will be a good source of protein. I eat pork skins for the same reason anybody does. I hate myself. Pick a lane, pork skins, for God's sake. Pick a lane. Been traveling a lot for comedy lately, and I was driving to a show last week. Saw a brand new, just opened ABC store that was 20 steps away from a person's house. This wasn't on a city block, it wasn't in a town, it wasn't even in a neighborhood. Just a house and 20 steps away, liquor store. How do those people not become alcoholics? And if they're already alcoholics, how do they not think that God made their dream come true? That family is drunk, yes, but that family has faith. They believe in divine intervention, just not a regular intervention. No time for that. All right, that's a new joke that I should not have told tonight, but lesson learned. In 2 years, that joke's going to be my closer. I can feel it. At different points in my life, my grandma and my mom both told me the same thing. They said, "Tony, there's always been somebody in our family who's drunk or high." And I was like, "Okay, Mom, I get it. I'll step up." We'll do both. That's what I did. I am a recovering alcoholic, and I knew I had a problem for years before I told anybody. But people knew because I was being an alcoholic, you know? I left some clues. Some recovering alcoholics would say I can't call myself a sober person because I drink non-alcoholic beer. They're going to be shocked when they find out I'm doing heroin. Please don't tell them. I think we romanticize alcohol a lot, including in the titles of movies. These are actual names of documentaries about alcohol. How Beer Saved the World. Neat, The Story of Bourbon. Scotch, A Golden Dream. Documentary titles about my drinking wouldn't sound so hopeful. Mine would be, I Have a Problem. Neat. Four Loko. The Reckoning. Jägermeister. Just do meth. That's my favorite one. During 2 of my most prolific drinking years, I lived directly above a bar. Did I make it upstairs to my apartment every night? Of course not. How could I climb 8 stairs when I'm shit-faced? What I needed was 12 steps. It's a pretty good Alcoholics Anonymous joke for a guy who's never been to a meeting. After 5.5 years without a drop of alcohol, I relapsed. Yeah. Not the support I'm looking for, man. Last time I admitted this on stage, standing ovation. That's the wrong kind of encouragement. So thank you for not applauding my relapse the way that asshole did. It's very kind. I relapsed because I wanted to see if the taste of alcohol had changed. You guys, it's so much better now. Oh my God. Honestly, whoever's making the alcohol, great job. You guys are killing it. I got in an argument with my veterinarian. Well, my cat's veterinarian, right? One of my cats had a breathing problem, and when I rushed her down to the vet's office, they basically demanded that I get my cat a rabies vaccine booster shot. I thought we should have been focusing on the fact that my cat was barely breathing. But at several points during my visit, the vet's assistant and the vet both presented me with this scenario. I declined the rabies shot. They go, okay, but if a bat gets in your house and bites one of your cats, you're gonna be in a world of trouble. I said, if a bat gets in my house and bites one of my cats, I'm gonna be in a hotel. Because one of my cats is now a vampire, which means that house is cursed. So I'm out of there. The vet wound up giving me nasal drops for my cat. The vet's instructions were, yeah, it's easy. Just tilt her head back and put 1 drop in each nostril. Boop, boop. She actually said, boop, boop. Have you ever put anything in a cat's nostrils? Other than cocaine? Cats love cocaine. It actually chills them out. Don't Google that. Getting these drops in my cat's nose was impossible. So now I've just started saying boop boop about other seemingly impossible things. Like, yeah, it's easy. You just provide universal health care and eliminate police brutality. Boop boop. Sounds simple, right? By the way, I have no proof that cocaine makes cats relax. Do your own research. Don't trust me on that. And don't trust me around your cocaine because it will disappear every time. I had a daily cocaine habit for a couple years, and like most coke addicts, I loved it. Oh my God. Big fan, yeah. People usually talk about the downside of using cocaine, but without it, I would have never worked up the courage to steal from my family and friends. That was made possible mostly by cocaine and a few grudges I just couldn't let go of. I'm in therapy. Some of you are like, thank God, no one needs it more. You're not wrong. Therapy's definitely helped, but I'm still skeptical. Mainly because the 3rd time I ever met with my therapist, she recommended I use essential oils. You know, basically admitting that her skill and years of training weren't going to be enough to help me. Apparently I needed performance-enhancing drugs. I had never used essential oils before. I didn't know what to do. I drank it. It didn't make me happier, but my pee smelled like chamomile, and that was wonderful. This wrist tattoo is an acronym of something my therapist said the second time I ever met with her. Second therapy session of my entire life, she said something that resonated. I went right out, got it tattooed. So when I went back in for that third therapy session, I showed her the tattoo, explained it, and my therapist goes, Tony, today we're going to talk about impulse control. Fair, Mary. That's a fair point. I've heard comedians say, record your sets. You gotta record your sets. Do you record your sets? Yeah, I record most of them. But have I ever listened to my sets? Never once in my life. I try, but as soon as I hear my own voice, I come. And takes me right out of it every time. I got to get off stage, but before I go, I want to let everybody know that after my set, I will have merch for sale, and my merch is weed. So if anybody's looking for some organically grown, reasonably priced merch, I got you. I told that joke once. A guy came up to me after the show, really wanted to buy some merch. I didn't have any. That is not the case tonight. Unless you're a cop, then these are all lies. All right, I'm Tony. You guys are great. Enjoy the rest of the show.